I am going to show you today how I use Imagen AI editing to edit my gallery. So I'm a family photographer and I chose this gallery because it was shot mid-afternoon when the light was still quite high. So we've got a fair bit of backlight, but there's all different lighting in this gallery, and we shot all around a local little town. So I've got front lighting, back lighting, I've got some really harsh golden light when the sun had dropped right down, and I move them around a lot. So I wanted to use this gallery because I thought it would be fun and there's lots of color, and I'm going to show you how I edited the entire gallery of 130 images in under 1 hour using Imagen, which has been so helpful. So yes, I hope you enjoy. So this is how I upload a gallery to Imagen. So I've just opened up Imagen and I'm going to come here and create a project. Now I want to edit, so I'm going to choose edit. I usually choose portraits or family and newborn. For this one, I'm going to choose portraits, and I already have my photos culled and in a Lightroom catalog. So I'm going to grab that catalog and I'm going to name it up here. Going to choose a profile. So I've already uploaded the presets that I want to use. So I'm going to use the Meadow preset pack that I have tweaked for these. Now there's a few different tools in here that you can use. So I often will have the straighten tool on. I prefer to crop myself, and I prefer to do skin smoothing myself as well in Lightroom, but they're all options that you can test out in here as well. Now I come down to flagged because I flag all of the photos in Lightroom that I want Imagen to edit. So that is 123. So there's a few different ways you can do it. So in Lightroom, when you've uploaded your images, you could star the ones that you want to edit. But yes, I find that flagging them is quite helpful. So in Lightroom, there's 173 photos and I have flagged 123, which I am going to run through Imagen and edit. So I'm going to choose that. And it says an estimated cost down here as well per gallery, which is really helpful. And then you simply click upload. And this usually takes just a couple of minutes. So I will pop back in a second when that is ready. Okay, that took around 5 minutes to do the edit. So now I've got this here, which is highlighted in red, so it's ready to download. So you click download to review, download the edits, and it will prompt me in a minute to open up in Lightroom. So now I click on there and I'm going to open up the edited gallery in Lightroom. Okay, now we have just opened up the gallery. So this is the gallery straight out of Imagen. So these have all been edited through Imagen, and this is what they look like straight out of that program. So it's doing pretty well. I'd have to say the colors, these ones have to load. The colors are looking really great. This is a preset that I have been using for ages and I've made tweaks to, and that's what I've been uploading to Imagen to use for my edits. So now when I bring the whole gallery into Lightroom, I will go through into the develop panel. I'll go through each image and use things like the spot removal tool to remove things in the image that I want, and do some subject masking, and also use some of my AI tools on the images as well. So I prefer to do the skin retouching and the masking in Lightroom, just because I find that I have specific tools for that work really well, and I don't love really harsh skin retouching. So I will go through each of my images, and one of my favorite tools is the Pop and Brighten Subtle, which is part of the Storykeeper brush pack, the AI tools pack. So if I click on that, and then what I will usually do is highlight a bunch of photos and click sync and just copy that mask across. So synchronize the mask across a whole lot of photos. So that's how I apply my masking tools really easily to all of my images once I've brought them in from Imagen. And then I will go through and make all of the final tweaks to the gallery, and then I can actually come back into Imagen and upload my final gallery so that it can learn my style a little bit more. And the reason that I have found Imagen works really well is because you can obviously apply a preset in Lightroom to a photo and then sync it across your whole gallery, but you will then need to go through and adjust the exposure, the temperature and the tint, often in many of the images. So what Imagen does is it really learns your style in different lighting situations. So it can accommodate for that in changing lights all across your images. And so you don't actually have to make those changes by hand because it's actually doing that for you. So I will just open up this again so we can have a little bit more of a look at the gallery. So the skin tones are looking really good. The exposure is looking great. It's making adjustments. If we come into here, you can see that, let me just have a little look, that the adjustments are actually slightly different on lots of different images, which is why I find it really helpful, because it's actually reading the scene and adjusting for the specific light in the scene and to do with the colors as well. So that's why the adjustments change slightly as we go throughout the whole gallery. So now I'm going to give you a very quick sped up look of me editing the entire gallery from start to finish. So this took me around 1 hour after I'd brought it into Lightroom. So the main things that I'm doing here are I'm going through and doing spot removal on all of the images. So you obviously can't do that in AI, and that's definitely something that you need to go in and do individually on each photo. So there's lots of features now built into Lightroom that make that really quick. So that is something that I do for every photo. I then will adjust the crop and take out anything else in the images that I don't like. If there's any colors that I need to tweak as well, I will use brushes and brush over those colors and change them. And once I've done my final gallery, I will go back through it and see which images I would like to do in black and white. So often I'll create a duplicate image that I'll do in black and white, or sometimes I will make the single image black and white because I feel like it will be a lot stronger as a black and white. So I don't do any black and whites through Imagen. I do those all myself in Lightroom when I come back in here. So this is the very quick sped up look of me editing the gallery. So I'll let you have a little watch as I go through. Okay, now that was the whole gallery. So I edited the whole gallery in 45 minutes after I imported it from Imagen. I just went through and did all of the spot removal. Any cropping or straightening that I wasn't happy with, I changed that. And the colors were actually really spot on. The exposure was perfect. So I didn't have to do much changes to that at all. And the colors were really good as well. So there was a few images that I tweaked and took some of the yellows out of the greens because they were quite yellow. But apart from that, it was pretty spot on. The other thing that I do is, if you want to apply skin softening and you have the Lumi AI tools, which are the Story Keeper tools, I will often apply the skin retouching to the images that I want. And then I can select the other ones and sync that across. So at the end of all of my editing, when I've gone through the whole gallery, I'll usually do the masking tool. So I've applied that skin retouching to this one, so I will grab the other images that I'd like to apply that to, maybe to there, and go sync, and I'll just select the skin soften. There's a few different versions, but I like the light one. There's also a medium and a strong version in the pack as well. and go synchronize. Merge those with the other masks. And this will usually take a few seconds to do, which if your Lightroom is running really slow, it can take a long time, but generally it's pretty fast. So once I have synced those, I'm nearly ready to go. I will give you a quick look at the finished gallery in a minute when I have exported it. I have now completed the whole gallery and I've uploaded it to PicTime, which is the gallery provider that I use to deliver all of my images to clients. So here is a quick overview of the gallery. I love to deliver my photos in random order just to mix it up and create a more visually pleasing gallery. And you can see all of the edits here. I'm going to drop a link as well below this to the actual gallery so you can jump on and have a look. And I hope you really enjoyed that. Obviously, some galleries may take a little longer if you need to do more tweaks to each image, but overall this took me around an hour to do. So Imagen has been working really well for my workflow and hopefully you find it helpful too. If you want to ask me any questions about any other things that I do in Imagen or how I incorporate it into my workflow, please feel free to get in touch. But I hope you found that really helpful.